In this video, to help of the material layer component, create a users list, like display the users list. Just in this video, I will cover the props and design of the using the material UI. Okay, let's see how use the props and how to design the screen. Users, okay, users list.js. Okay, the functional component. Before that, we need to start import and React. Okay, so if you want to use state, you can use the use state also if you want. If any state management is there, use state. And next from the material UI, so I want to use some few things. Let's say button. If you want later, we can add a here in the using the comma. Okay, so what is the agenda is? I have the array. Okay, I have the users list in my array. That is user information I want to display on the screen. Okay, so first of all, let's create a one functional component constant. Okay, users. Okay, users users is the one component. Users list is a one component. In this component, this is the functional component with arrow. I'm creating arrow function. Users list. In this user list, I have the users. Users is the array. I have the users. Okay. So users data is contained like this. For example, name. Okay. Name, email, mash.gmail.com. Like other emails, we can I'll copy from somewhere. Okay, this is my users. This user information I want to display on the list. Okay. So here user list is the functional component. The functional component it's should return the JSX, right? So inside the return. Okay. So this totally I want to load into the box. Okay. So typography. Let's use the typography. Typography. Okay. Now we can see if I'm so instead of type see instead of using now we can see uh, when I type here automatically it's enable in the import. Okay, should be coming from the box. Why it's coming from there? Okay, typography here user list. This information it's need to display here. But this component I didn't use. But if I want to use, I need to export this component default users list. Okay, so this component I want to use into the main.js file as app.js file import react sorry import users list. This component I want to load here users list. Okay, now see, so display right that the content, what is the content we are displaying users list that is displayed here. Okay, so let's give some font using SX. The font size it's not coming. Forget about it. Let's give it. Why it's not coming? Okay, let's see. Okay, in the bill, these information. What are the information I want to display on the screen? To help of the some
Sir, double
design.
braces, font size key.
Yeah, yeah. That's X, right? Okay, okay. Got it, got it. Yes. Yeah. Users list. Okay. So typography. We applied some font to some style to typography This is information. In this below, I want to load this information. Okay, how can you load? Okay, so here we can write a code here, but instead of writing this code, I want to create another component. I want to create another component. That component only to design the users and user data one. Okay, let's create another component user card. Let's say user card is another component. Okay, so in the user card, let's pass the information. Like, what is the information you need to pass? Brace, curly braces. Whatever information you are going to pass, name, email. Okay, in the user card, just this card and design the user information using the help of the another component, child component. This is a again functional component, right? The functional component use the you need to return the JSX box. Inside the box, typography, and here as the name like this, and email. Okay, this is one card, one user. This card, this is only design, right? So you help of this child, I will use inside the parent component. So how can you use? Just user card, this is our card, and pass the data name. Okay, what is the name? I need to pass the name, right? Okay, so users of index 0. Okay, okay, name, email equal to users of 0, users of 0 dot name, comma, dot email. So instead of writing user 0 and statically, so instead of this, I will use the map function. Okay, instead of writing here, I will use the map. Okay, so how can you use the map here? Okay, so I want to write some JSX inside the, sorry, I want to write some JavaScript code. So if I want to write a JavaScript thing, just use the curly braces like this. Inside the curly braces, users, we need to loop the element users dot map. Okay, map. This map is written the user object. Okay, this map return the user with index. Okay, arrow symbol, and now see, this is a this is way of looping the each and every element. The first item will come user. That object is stored here. If you want to use index, we can use the index. Okay, here I will use I will use this user part. Okay, return user card name, user card here name, and pass the user dot name, right? This is way of getting the value from the here user dot name, and email user dot email. So we can see, got it right. So using the array, using the user dot map, so it's the render, it's looping the each element. Inside this, we loaded the this user card inside the map. See, now display, right? The data is displayed here, but we need to apply some background color or some spacing or something, right? Okay, using the access, like add some border with
సార్
okay,
ఇండెక్స్ యూజ్ చేయలేదు కదా సార్.
so not required index. Okay, in this case we can use directly, if you want to use, you can use index like this is key. Okay, if in the key place we can use the index. Clear? So not required index because of you have the user object, right? We have the object in the map is written the user object. In the map is written the user object. one okay, this total object it returns the in the, this total okay user dot map. I told you right array function. So in the array function map function is there user dot map. First this is first object is coming from this object. Name and email is there directly we can access it user dot email user dot name. Hope it's clear.
Okay, sir.
Or else we can distract like this, right? We can distract the value like this. Okay, constant, for example, name email equal to user, right? We can directly use like this, right? Name, clear? Any change here?
No,
No,
sir.
right? See, this is a user object, this object. From this object, we are distracting from the value name and email, right? This name and email key is there here. So it's assigned to this variable. That variable we are using here. That variable we are passing to the user card through the props. Here we are using the user props here. This is way of loading the list array into the screen to help of the function component props and map. Okay, so instead of the box, I have used a chord. So see, this is a chord. Okay, so I have applied the margin. That's it's applied the margin. If you remove the margin, okay, if you remove the margin, it's a collapse. So that's why I add the margin, or else you can add a padding also, all the places. Okay, inside padding and margin is a 2 pixel. See, this is the way of adding the display the card. Okay, so see if you same thing if I copy here and paste it automatically is generated. Okay, now we can see add items like this. See automatic scroll also display. This is way of loading the users list. Okay, this is way of loading the users list. If you want to change anything design you can change in the user card. Okay, in the this is the two three parts. First of all we are created one array. Okay, this array I want to load into the users list. This is the title. The title is displayed in the typography, but this is a dynamic content right from the array. That's why I'm using the users array dot map and looping the each and every element. And in this I have used this user card as a child component. In the user child component I'm passing the data one by one. What is the data here? So here object store the each and every this object, this user object hold this one name and email. That is we are distracting from name to email. Directly we are passing the value. Or else we can distract these things into here also. Okay. So what is the here is right. Okay. For example, okay, user. Hmm, okay. So instead of passing like this, okay, instead of passing user, just pass the user. That's it. Okay, no change, right? Anything change? Just we are passing the user object here. From the object we are distracting, we are passing the value. See, this user object is contained all the data. That data is distracting with the name and email. That data is displayed here like this. So anyhow, we can write a code. Okay, this is about user list. We are loading the user list. We are not use the use state, right? You can remove the use state here because you are not see buttons also we are not using, right? We can remove. Now see, this is the array. This is a box. We are looping the each element and load the into the user code. This is user code display in the separate component. That component we are reuse the those component here and pass the data help of the props. That props we are using here. This is about user list render on the screen using the React.